Welcome back to Tarot Tuesday by the Third Eye of Providence. I'm so grateful for everybody's support and thank you for joining me once again. I appreciate every person that's been hitting the like button and leaving comments to let me know that these messages resonate with them. If this is your first time on my channel, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. That way you can get notifications every week when I post new content. So for this week, I decided to do all separate videos for my zodiac sign combinations, sun, moon, and risings, and this is the message for my Scorpio collective. I have messages for you guys this week from the Twin Tarot, the Oracle of the Seven Energies. You got a bonus message from the Power of Love activation cards, and you also have a Sacred Geometry activation card as well. So let's get into the collective messages for my Scorpios. You have the light aspect of the devil. This is Lord Pan, and this has to do with the energies of, let's say, intoxications, addictions, seductions. In the Oracle of the Seven Energies, you have number 3, the Time Machine. Beautiful card. From the Power of Love activations, you have the past and forgiveness, of course, with the Time Machine. It says the past. Through the power of love, you release any stagnant situations or energy in order to transform your heart space. Forgiveness. You are now able to activate the power of love in order to release past hurts. Wow. Scorpios, this is deep already. Okay, and then in the Sacred Geometry activations, you have number 19, delights. It says the frequency of delight supports our capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy and happiness. The more delight we feel, the more delight we invoke in others. Interesting. I do see the connection between these cards. Obviously, we're talking about the earthly delights with Lord Pan as the devil here. And we also have something happening with this past forgiveness in the Time Machine. So interesting. Okay, let's get into the deeper message, Scorpios. So from the Twin Tarot, the light aspect of the devil, the message for you all is, let's see. Aware I might trip and then lose the way, I make sure my devil can't lead me astray. It says, this is a warning against temptations, entrapment, bad habits, excessive appetite, and resultant self-loathing. Bad habits. Aware I might trip and then lose the way. So going in your mind, traveling back to the past, repeating these things that you need to forgive and move on from. Okay. It says the Forest of the Light Devil card is wow. It is an analogy to the forest of life, for it contains so much that is beautiful, helpful, and pleasurable, yet also has the potential to cause ugliness, suffering, and pain. Take, for example, the pretty poppy plant. Its flowers are pleasant to the eye, and it produces an opiate that serves as wonder medication for the sick, but a nightmare for the addict. Then there's Pan, a nature spirit of Greek mythology. Somewhat of a trickster, he had a penchant for wood nymphs who he loved to unsettle with his pranks. But occasionally, harmless play became more sinister as his darker side transformed him from teaser into sexual predator. You may have chosen this card as a reminder that you too have a darker side, a shadow side to your being. We all do, though sometimes we're not aware of it until it enters our consciousness as a sudden eruption, or more insidiously, it takes hold gradually over time. Either way, the fine line between healthy appetite and addiction, between being in control and out of it, begins to fade or disappear altogether. The light aspect of the devil card reminds you not to give in to any temptations which may seem particularly alluring or delightful at this time. Remember that addiction is miserable. It causes self-hatred and shame. Let know thyself be your mantra, because only an awareness of your demons within enables you to control them and so find inner peace as well as outer fulfillment. This card comes to you as a warning against your loss of willpower to substances beyond your control, enslaving obsessions, denial of your shadow side, an addiction to one or more of the 7 deadly sins: pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth. Oh, Scorpios, we are going into the shadow work this week, aren't we? Interesting. I think it might have to do with the eclipse energies, is what I'm getting. Okay, let's go into card number 3, the Time Machine. From the Oracle of the 7 Energies. This card represents the energies of inherited patterns. So addictions are most likely running in your family. I'm also getting from your father's side. I don't know what that's all about. This just came to me. Conditioning, lessons already learned, cellular memory, honoring the past without being trapped there. Oh, Scorpios, this is deep. We rely on stories we inherit from our ancestors, our families, our culture, and the world around us to construct a map of our reality. As we develop new stories in life, we build on those foundations, repair them when we can, or tear them down to begin again. The best and most powerful traits and experiences of your ancestors are yours to integrate into your life, so you don't have to revisit their hardships or rectify their mistakes. You have a magical map with which to navigate your current circumstances. Look to the past for answers now and ask yourself, in this situation, what can I learn from those who came before me? What traits can I emulate in order to move through this challenge with wisdom? How can I build on what I already know and integrate this understanding? And what might I do differently? Sometimes you walk blindly into traps set in the past. Perhaps you couldn't see that you were repeating a pattern until you were well into it. The best course of action here is to rest, practice self-compassion, and make a conscious choice to do something differently next time. Clarity will come. Remember that if you do what you always did, you'll get the same results. History repeats itself only if you allow it. The most important thing is that you are becoming aware. You can make a different choice regarding how you respond to life right now. Yes, things can be awkward and uncomfortable as old hurts are revealed and new solutions are attempted. The time is ripe for change, so keep going. Every step is important. Allies will rally, but in the end, you are the one you've been searching for. One day you will remember how beautiful your new story was just around the corner. Stunning. That is very encouraging for my Scorpios. Let's see what these cards of past and forgiveness say. Let's start with the past first and hopefully move into forgiveness very quickly. So, from the Power of Love activations, the card of the past brings the energies of the past is done and the future is yet to be. All you have is the now, and the past is your greatest teacher. Everything that has happened up until this moment is the product of the person you see in the mirror. That is why the power of now is so important. Only in the present do you have the opportunity to create both your past and your future. Always be mindful of your present moment thoughts, because in seconds, now will be your past, which you cannot get back. You don't want the past to steal your future, and the bridge between the two is the present. Begin to live in present time, and always remember that through the loving, compassionate thoughts and actions, you are creating a past that you can be proud of, and a bright future awaits. Yes, so not escaping the present. I very resonate with this message, my Scorpios. I struggled with addictions myself, and these negative coping mechanisms that I developed from my family, who really didn't have the tools or the access and resources available to them to understand these patterns and how they were affecting the prosperity and health. And I struggled deeply with the self awareness side of releasing myself from the burdens of using external forces to numb my anxieties and my depression and my feelings of not being able to escape my current circumstances based on how the past had affected me. So I definitely am not being hard on you guys, my Scorpio collectives. I can very much relate to this tough love message that Spirit is giving you right now. So let's find some forgiveness. Forgiveness is the cornerstone of love. To be fully aligned with the power of love requires complete forgiveness of self and others. You may find this hard to accomplish because you are letting your ego be in the driver's seat. When you can't forgive, it is the ego holding on to the past hurts and feelings of not being in control. Forgiveness will remove old blockages and causes of emotional distress, allowing love energy to work through you. By forgiving, you are not excusing or condoning a particular behavior. Instead, you're willing to understand the lesson being presented. You are not necessarily obligated to reconcile. You can forgive and choose to not involve yourself with that person or situation ever again. The saying forgive and forget is a misnomer, for you should never forget a lesson. Bless the experience, but always remember what you learned from it. When you forgive, you open yourself up to the positive and loving experiences that the universe wants to bestow upon you. Now there is room for them in the space formerly taken up by the babysitting of those horrible and toxic feelings. So true. What a deep message. Okay, let's see what this activation of delights is. Oh, so Spirit is trying to guide you to stop perpetuating these patterns of escaping the present because of how much you suffered in your past. It wants you to find forgiveness for what has happened to yourself or who you used to be or whoever did this to you. Because once you're able to let go of this hate, this hurt, this pain, and find forgiveness, you're making space for joy. You're making space for life to get sweeter. Okay. The energy of delight literally means of the light. Science refers to light as an electromagnetic radiation that we can measure in wavelengths, and visible light as a range of wavelength in variations of color that we can perceive with the human eye. In the new energy, we are asked to consider the multidimensional attributes of light as a fundamental to what we believe about it as well. Light has a quantum attribute and it is nonlinear. It is an energy that can be created through consciousness, and consciousness can create it in return. Light influences our awareness, our perceptions, and therefore our reality. We associate the word delight with feelings of pleasure, joy, and happiness. Joy and bliss are considered to have some of the highest frequencies of all of emotion. By feeling joyful or blissful, our frequency goes up. The higher our frequency, the more light we generate, and the more we can shine in return. The yellows and oranges and pinks in the image refer to the sun as a symbol and source of light. The beauty of the flower stimulates our feelings of joy, and the colors are like the sun, bright, warm, stimulating, and nurturing all at the same time. The flower blooms while receiving light, or perhaps it is shining the light that we are receiving. The flower of life, visible within the image, represents the grid on which our three-dimensional reality is based. Try this, my Scorpios. Close your eyes, go inside yourself, and imagine a beautiful sunset. Let the reds, oranges, pinks, and golds fill your heart. Now think about what brings you joy. What makes you happy? How do you express those feelings? How do you shine your light on others? And how can you create more joy in your daily life? Do you sing in the car or in the shower? Try it. Here's the intuitive guidance based on this energy, my Scorpios, is that I'm getting that this is a lot of the solar plexus. And the solar plexus is our internal sun. So you might be a sun sign Scorpio, is what I'm also getting. But basically, what you need to know about the solar plexus is actually where your diaphragm is as well. So a lot of times we're singing from our throat chakra, but we need to be lower into our diaphragm, the solar plexus energy. And I'm also getting that when you put the vibration of joy, you're singing from your heart and your diaphragm at the same time, songs that light you up, songs that make you feel alive and releasing from these past hurts and pains. Do not put on music that is going to keep you in those negative and old feelings. Put on, oh, I'm getting Stevie Wonder. Put on some Stevie Wonder. You are the sunshine of my life. Sing this song. Sing it from your heart. Sing it from your solar plexus. And I'm getting that the frequency, that joy, that light is going to dissolve these negative soul ties that you have. And the soul ties do come from our solar plexus. This is a very healing and deep message I have for you, my Scorpios. If you resonate with this and you want further guidance on how to do this type of energy work on yourself and how to do this sound healing, reach out to me. I would love to be able to assist you with that. And if I don't get to do a private reading for you and help you with that energy work, make sure to come over to my Instagram on Friday, because I'll be doing bonus messages that are going to be for the winter solstice and the 12/21 activations. I love you guys so much, my Scorpios. I hope you have a blessed and delightful week.